Let me go to Jaden, a first-time caller. Not a first-time caller. Sorry about that. A caller out of California. Jaden, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yo, Jesse, can you hear me?
I can. Yes, go ahead.
That's sick, bro. I had the question. I was listening to what you just said
Yes.
about how you can't make a relationship work. You really believe that?
Yeah. Not only do I believe that, Jaden, I know that. There's
You
not
know
one
it?
There's not one person on earth who has ever made a relationship work.
I do notice when I'm talking to the girls, I'm not focused on God. Well, just a quick question before I get into the biblical one. If you don't mind, just what is the point of a friendship then if you're not supposed to like work on it and like build it up? Like, what is the point of a friend?
There is no point of a friendship, and there is no such thing as a friendship. The
What?
word friendship is just a word, and what you should do is just live your life without putting titles on anyone or anything, and that way you don't put restrictions upon yourself and others to try to make something work. You want to hang out with somebody? Go hang out, have a little hootenanny over time,
Whoa.
and go home with no restriction, no expectation.
Do you actually live your life like that?
Absolutely. And it's
That
amazing.
sounds so cool, bro. That actually sounds so cool to not like have it like, got to be this ego like, oh, that's my friend. That's my friend.
Right. You don't need to say it's my friend. Just go hang out. Don't put a tight on it. If your friend don't show up, fine. If your friend show up, fine. If your friend have a fun, fine. You would lose nothing nor gain anything because you wouldn't have any expectation of that person.
That's sick, bro. I want to live like that. I got to keep doing the silent prayer.
Yeah.
But this is
The way you do it is do the silent prayer. Don't hold anything against yourself or anyone else. Don't be angry. And just watch. Be present. And that will happen for you. You can't make it happen. The Father will cause you to overcome all identities. And he will take away
right.
all of your identities and give you clear mind and perfect peace. And you will have no expectation from yourself or anyone else.
Yeah, it's like it's like when you're a kid, like you don't care if your like friend shows up to play, you're just gonna keep playing anyways. Right?
Absolutely.
It's crazy. All right, well
so
this
have you ever tried to make a friendship work?
Oh, a ton of them, man. My friend of 8 years went transgender, and I tried so hard to save him, and he became so angry at me.
Yes, because you can't save anyone. You can't even save yourself.
I felt like I could wake him up, though, because I've been friends with 8 years.
But you still can't wake him up. Anyone that tries to wake up another person or save another person is asleep themselves. That's why they... You got the blind leading the blind, right? Who are you to think that you can save somebody or wake somebody up? You're not awake yourself when you think that way.
Yeah. And mostly it's just the girl ones that I try to make work. Like they'll have like a completely different personality. They'll be like, and they'll be texting me first. Not like I'm like begging them, but they're texting me first and like hitting me up. But they're just like, I'm just doing it just because it's like a good feeling of, oh yeah, this girl likes me, bro. Yeah, this girl likes me. I'm going to keep going with that. So I'm just not focused on God, not focused on getting my money up.
Well, never when you meet a girl, I'm telling you this, when you meet a girl, I don't care how nice and sweet and lovely and how much she give you the S stuff, never assume she likes you. She doesn't. All you're doing is coming up with fake ideas in your own mind. She doesn't like you. She just getting the same thrill from you that you're getting from her, which is all ego thrill, and that's going to eventually...
But that's the thing, Jesse. I mainly think because I watched you for so long, I'm like, I would basically call myself a Jesse-ist. You know how they have they call yourself a Christian? I call myself a Jesse.
What
I try to tell them all this stuff. I know that's ego. I shouldn't do that, but I try to tell them all this stuff, and it works for a little bit, and then it's go right back to doing it.
Well, stop trying to tell them. You only said to tell people the truth that want to hear the truth.
Whoa.
If they don't...
How do I know they want to hear if I don't tell them?
You will know. Don't worry about it. You will see. You will know.
Speaking of truth, I got this very important biblical question.
Okay.
So it's Bible Thumper Thursday, and I know you're like non-denominational, right? Like you don't follow church.
Yeah, I'm non-denomination.
Yeah, see, I have an issue with that because I believe that there's a Bible verse. If you want me to get it, I can. But it says where Jesus, I think it was in Acts, he gave the keys. It says he gave the keys of the church to Peter. Whatever you bound and loose and on earth will be permitted in heaven. I don't know if you know that verse, but basically it means whatever you permit on earth will be permitted in heaven.
Right.
And whatever you deny on earth will be denied in heaven.
Right.
And he was talking to Peter about that because he gave the keys of the church to Peter and said, you're the rock I'm going to build my church on. So that only really leaves you. And then Peter, of course, gave the authority to Linus. Or if you're a Mormon, you don't believe he gave it to Linus. You think that it just transferred over to Joseph Smith. The point is, you only have like 3 churches after that makes sense. It's like the Catholic, the Orthodox, and the Mormon church. But I just want to know what is your opinion on all
that? And what's the question?
So yeah, do you think that Jesus gave like the keys of his church, the authority of the church to interpret Scripture and everything to Peter only? Like he's the Pope, the judge.
No, you have it too. Anyone that has returned to the Father, working on return to the Father, you are the church. You have the keys, and whatever you bound on earth will be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth will be loose in heaven. And because
but he only said that to Peter.
But I know he said it because Peter knew who he was. The other people did not know who Christ was. They didn't recognize him. They thought he was everybody but who he was. Peter knew he was the Son of the Father.
Okay, so wouldn't he have, after Thomas said, my God, like after he acknowledged Jesus being God,
Thomas never acknowledged Jesus being. He never acknowledged Jesus being God.
But why do you say my God, after Jesus showed him the holes in his hand?
Because he recognized, he called him God like anyone else. Hey, my God, But he didn't say he was God.
What?
Yeah. You believe Jesus is God?
Yeah.
So do you believe it's possible that when Thomas said that God was there with him?
He's always there with him, but that's not what...
Because God is in Jesus.
Oh, you think he might have been talking to the Father, like being like, yo, yeah. God, this is sick.
Yep.
Oh, I never heard that one before. All right, well, I just got a question. Why didn't let
me ask you this first, then. Who is the church?
Right, so the church is, well, it's technically called the people of Christ. But you'd have the Orthodox over here.
I'm asking you, who is the church?
I think the church is, right now, I think the church is the Mormon church.
No, your body is the church.
Really?
Yeah. The Mormon building is just a building.
That's a sickness thing.
The building is just a building, man, where people get together.
Wait, Jesse.
But your temper,
all God?
Your body is the temple of God.
Do you think that we're all God?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you were Satanist.
There's only one God. Let me ask you, but then I got to run, Jaden. Are you a Mormon?
Yeah.
What?
I don't believe in the prophets, technically, but I agree with their theology. It's actually pretty similar to yours.
Let me ask you this. Where is the proof that Thomas was calling Jesus God? Where did you get it? Because I have heard that before, and I really don't know what to say to people when they say that, because I don't know. I've never seen where Thomas said that.
Right, so it was in John 20:26. After Jesus came back from the dead and showed everyone his hands and everything, Thomas touched him, and then he was like, my Lord and my God.
So he was talking to the Son and the Father?
But he was just talking to Jesus.
What good is it doing you to be a Mormon?
Dude, actually a ton, because like I said, their theology is pretty similar to yours.
Okay.
in that God does everything to make you better and not bitter. I heard you say that before.
Nice.
We believe in the church. And you're not supposed to be angry. Anger is of the devil. They believe that too. The only thing I disagree is that they believe all emotions are good except for anger. So like when you crying, they'd be like crying with you and all that. It's crazy, bro. But it did me a lot of good because I gained a bunch of money doing door-to-door sales, and the things I learned in the church helped me out be more patient on the doors and be more peaceful.
Well, let your Mormon preacher know that emotions are not necessary, and let him know that God is a dispassionate God. Satan,
Wait.
Satan,
I knew you
Satan, Satan.
let
Let me just tell you this: Satan is a passionate God, emotion. And if you doubt me, overcome your anger. You see, when you overcome your anger, emotions will disappear.
Real quick, I heard you say that before, that God is a dispassionate God.
Right.
But I just want to know, because all over the Bible it says like Jesus was angry, he flipped tables. God was angry, he was disappointed in humanity. Like it keeps saying God has emotions. Why does the Bible
never say that Jesus had emotions?
Well, it said that God the Father got like angry and sad and joyful.
It never said God the Father was angry and mad.
Well, it said the Lord.
It never said he was angry and mad. And let me just say this to you, Jaden, and I know what you're talking about. When human beings read that, they automatically associate their emotions to that of God. They think that he was emotional angry. They don't know he was able to see injustice or evil, but not hate it, not feel anything about it, and take strong action. But they automatically equate their anger, their human nature, to that of God.
Whoa. So God doesn't feel anger like we do?
Not at all. And I promise you, this is one thing I promise you, if you ever do it. Once you overcome anger and thoughts, you will never be emotional again.
Are you serious? Ever again? Like, no, I can't go back to it?
What?
I can't just slip back into it after 20 years?
How can you flip back into something that no longer lives in you?
Because that's what happened when I was a kid. It didn't live in me, and I let it live in me after that.
Did. You were not an emotional kid until you were traumatized by your mother.
There you go. What if I become traumatized again? Can I still not go back to being emotional?
Once you are born of the Father, you can never be traumatized again.
What? All right, I got to keep doing the silent prayer. All this sounds awesome, bro.
Yeah, stay with the prayer, right? No matter what. And then practice being present rather than living in your head thinking about the past or the future, all right?
You promise all this is true. You're not just like saying this.
I promise you, it's true, and if you stay with it, you stay present rather than in your head thinking about the past or the future, yesterday or tomorrow, if you stay present, you're going to see what I'm talking about. It will come to pass for you.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, buddy. Nice call. I appreciate it. All right.